and I'm really glad that they got to show some of these other players got to show some of their stuff both online and coming back offline. Like you see players like Gaiakai and Juke Kane. Like I recognize them from online brackets, and lo and behold, there they are in Central Jersey.
They're out here, and it is interesting, sort of seeing that population also do well online. But in any case, here we go. We got Tweek Sephiroth versus the former main and Pokemon trainer. Had a Sephiroth Ditto just a little bit earlier, actually, with Shine Burst, who actually put up a really good fight, man. So we'll see if, at this point in bracket, it is mislabeled, so let me fix that. But, winners quarterfinals, you don't make it this far by mistake. So obviously, Sauce does have an idea what he's doing with Pokemon Trainer.
Oh yeah, and PT has these ebb and flows, whether or not they're actually relevant or not. And as of the success of Quid up in Westchester, a lot of PTs are gaining a lot more confidence as of recently, showing like, yeah, maybe some of these characters have like their own centralized weaknesses, but I can play to all of their strengths at any point that I want. It's just a matter of how fast I am to switch. Though Sephiroth really do be poking holes in a lot of character weaknesses that are kind of centralized around Pokemon Trainer, which being things like range, things like ledge trapping, things like ledge pressure. Like Sephiroth can really just he can make some characters and some players struggle with just that so strong gameplay.
Yeah, man. And this is if anything, we know Tweek as a super smart player. So yeah, he's going to be snapping. He's going to be doing all kinds of stuff. But this is where it gets tricky playing against a player like Tweek, right? So you're down, and then you see him at high percent. You want to throw out anything and just hit him to kill him, right? But like it's not so easily done when you're playing against probably the best player in the world at the moment, or at the very least, one of the best. So Sauce is going to have to think of something here. Does have Charizard out, does have back air at his disposal, and forward air, and that's how he's going to take it.
I know Sauce didn't take much damage over that last interaction, but it looked like he was literally getting stage trapped. Like, Tweek looked so comfortable on ledge, and the amount of threat that he's putting on with Shadow Flare, God, it's so good. And this is a Sephiroth that uses a lot more of Shadow Flare than Sephiroths like Ned, who much prefer to space people out with back air and F-tilt, though we do see the back air come out for the stock on Ivysaur. And yeah, Tweek's gonna play this dashback kind of game plan, see how much space he can gain, and pressure a lot with the Shadow Flare. Like that's Sephiroth set play 101.
Alright, so Sauce now with another opportunity. This Tweek in a little bit uncomfortable position, but he is going to get out almost immediately until that Fair has something to say about it. And was what took the last stock, but here's a position where, okay, getting out of dodge real quick there with Flare Blitz.
Oh, he's really throwing it out, but look, Sephiroth's big disjoint stuffs Flare Blitz in its tracks. And with Wing on deck, yeah, this is kind of the perfect percent for Sephiroth. Like, you're past 80, so you have Wing, but you're still about 20 or 30% from death, assuming you don't get hit by something crazy. And with the added mobility, you can avoid a lot of the craziness. And
that was like the last way you wanted to see that end.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I understand the Gambit because a lot of the times Tweek was recovering horizontal with full Octo Slash. So you use the armor, you would pressure ledge, like you cover all of that. Like, all right, I can understand the thought process, just lacking in execution, and it's going to be a 2-stock because of it.
Yeah, I mean, A for effort. It was a good hustle.
Certainly,
you know what I mean. Like it was the sentiment was there. Just when it doesn't land, and especially when it turns into an SD, feels bad. But honestly, not a bad game one for Sauce at all. Like that was it wasn't a wash. A lot of times, especially against a player like Tweek, you just see the other end. It can be a struggle, but definitely in the right place. Didn't totally get washed at all. That was, for all intents and purposes, it was legitimately a good effort. But we'll see what game 2 holds. I don't know if we picked a different stage. I actually wasn't paying attention.
The smash throw is the pick, which normally you don't want to do against Sephiroth, since things like up air and up smash cover this full platform, which is spooky to say the least. But Pokemon Trainer gets a lot off this stage, and there's so much room to juggle and to grow with your offense, assuming that you can find your footing, which is always going to be difficult against Tweek. But as you mentioned, Sauce looked good when he was allowed to find his hits. Just seemed like he was a little bit of a step behind in the full execution of some of the neutral interactions. But having the right idea is the first step to finding those openings, and on a stage like this, you're feeling pretty good. But the DI in on down throw means that fair is something you can follow up with.
Yeah, and I mean, you're exactly right, though. I mean, Sauce even just kind of having the right idea what to do and looking like they'd be the good options, just not quite getting the execution. That is the first step. So really all it takes in this particular case is the right option against, yeah, there you go, against the Sephiroth sitting at 113. So could see something here, still very much within Sauce's grasp here.
That was a regrab, but he was too worried about the Shadow Flare and its own detonation timer to properly punish. There's not many chances where you get to pressure Sephiroth on ledge, and any of those opportunities you want to take, bravery, just to ignore the flare blitz, get that grab.
The way Tweek reacts to these flare blitzes, yeah, just totally, I mean, you could tell he used to main this character, yeah, solid connect on the up smash, because he just knows exactly when to challenge and how. Hit him out with, what was it, a back air the last game, grabbed him out of it this time.
He looks comfortable, and maybe more so than comfortable, but also experienced in just how to poke holes in characters like Ivysaur and Charizard. Where Squirtle is a lot harder to mess with, that's where he can play the player. But with Ivysaur and Charizard, they've been almost non-factors. Which is, you can only play the Squirtle show for so long.
That's the hardest show, man. You die at like 50%.
Sephiroth will gonna kill you.
A little bit either, unless you get that whole jab lock set up. But here we go, man. Yeah, you can tell Sauce very much playing like someone on his last breath of winners.
Gets the tether cancel to get back to stage, but the power of Shadow Flare, you can just snap right through the Razor Leaf, and he was looking to end it all. This is the ledge trap. What do you do with someone prepped to react and throw out something strong? But good pressure on Sauce's part to force the Octo Slash that was too far. I would say it's doable, but it's Tweek, and Tweek is a player that can suffocate you.
You got to take your wins where you get them, right? I mean, you're sitting here at this point. You've brought Tweek down the last stock here, and honestly, surging towards last percent, you could kind of count on Tweek finding this last hit to close out the game. But all in all, considering game one ended with an SD in that game, you know that's how that one's going to end. Not really a bad performance coming out from Sauce, all in all. I mean, you're, again, dealing with one of the best players in the world here.
Yeah, that was a really solid final showing, and if there's anything that you can get out of a moment like that, or out of a situation like that where you're kind of stuck last stock against a player that's determined to react to your ledge option, there's only so much you can do and so much data that you've already provided. But he was mixing up his ledge play really well,
yeah, he was.
Especially at the latter half of that game, like throwing out the Vine Whips that are going to be safe because he's standing at roll distance means you can be a little bit trickier of when you're going to be rising. But again, that kind of just happened in a similar fashion of game one. A little bit too greedy coming off ledge, a little bit too eager to try and get back in this game, and he gets properly punished for it.
Yeah.